Hello, and welcome to Crossing Bridges. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second episode of seeing my two guests that I had the pleasure of interviewing previously. And because of the magnificence of these two gentlemen, I extended the show to do another one, which you are watching today. I need to introduce them to you because some of you were seeing the first show and are turning to the second show. I'm really delighted to have these two magnificent human beings on my show. Mr. Allan J. Friedman is a renowned in Hollywood from the standpoint of composer, producer, writer, lyricist, filmmaker, and he has made so many people delighted through his music, through his achievement and success that it takes days to talk about. But for the sake of our show, we're going to try to cut it short. And when I interview them, you'll have the pleasure of hearing them and further about what they have done to bring so many people together for peace and harmony. I also have the pleasure of having on the show Antonio Gellini, a famed actor, producer, and founder and chairman of Family Film Festival Award, as well as Olympia Art Institute and 7 World Art Institute of Olympia, a new title that he has given to a wonderful cause of honoring many people in different categories, which will expand further. So at this time, without any further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce and welcome them once again. Allan, thank you so much for coming on the show once again. It's a pleasure. Antonio, always nice to see you. It's a pleasure. We ended our first show, but we had so much more to cover. We're going to expand on this show. Now, we talked in the first show about how you two became partners because Antonio was a partner with famed Dick Clark for many years.
That's right.
And we also talked about why God has the destiny for all of us. And you coming all the way from Iran and Allan coming from this country, it was meant for you two to meet at a certain time. And as I believe also in both of you, it was destined for me to have the pleasure of meeting both of you. I already first met Anthony, and now you, Mr. Allan Friedman. So it's a pleasure. When you started with Dick Clark, coming from Iran, and Allan says something to you that Dick Clark says something to you that it's need to be expanded on. Please tell us, what did he say to you?
You know, it's amazing. First of all, Mr. Jack Valenti introduced me to Mr. Dick Clark. I said, listen, son, I never, ever have myself, anybody from another country partner. I did a Beatles, I did a Elvis Presley, I did Michael Jackson, I did everything. How did you come with this idea? I love you. I want to do something. I talked to my wife, Kelly, and I said, family, film, it's unbelievable. And I want to let you know, it's an honor. I'm going to be side by side. I love your idea. You know what you're doing. You have your homework. And that was, you're doing something. I am very proud of that.
Well, let's expand on that, Antonio. Family Film Festival Award is basically nominating and recognizing people who have done films related to family, films related to values, film related to good things, not basically films that are killing, raping, and things of that nature. And that's important to define that because both of you gentlemen stand for value. Both of you work for humanity, justice, equality for people throughout the world. So you had your first award, goes back, I believe, about 10, 12 years ago.
1962.
1962.
It's amazing because, you know, God bless America. It's amazing because a dream, you know, because when you have a dream and you believe America is a time, is a place for dream, but you have to back it to this country. You know, this I never talk to anybody because I love your audience, I love yourself. The beginning I was signed with Mr. Ted Turner. They're supposed to do Olympia the first time.
Right.
And the first time they took me to the academy, and I was driving to the academy. I got accident, somebody hit me, too much blood in my face, but like a man of the year. So I had Mr. Sophia Loren in my hand, and Steven Spielberg, Jack Valenti, Ted Turner, everybody. And it was such a night. And Mr. Jack Valenti, I love him sometimes, make me smile like it. I didn't do that. Say, I told you, you make earthquake to Hollywood. Listen. And I was sitting next to him and said, listen over there. I saw Mr. Joe Lucas talking to others said, Oscar finished. Olympia, Oscar finished. Olympia. He just also knows. But you know, Oscar always in my heart. I never do that for this. But what happened, they buy the TNT. I have a contract with TNT.
Right.
But by the TNT, Mr. Ted Turner becoming the chairman of Tom Warner. But every lawyer come to me, Mr. Gellini, they give $700 million to Ted Turner, and they take the TNT and take the CNN, take over. But asked me, Antonio, you have $100 million. I said, Mr. Dick Clark, look at me. I said, what happened, son? I said, what happened? I said, I just closed my eye. I'm the owner of the Bank of America. I said, I am come to this country not to sue anybody.
Right.
I give to everybody hope, and that's why the Olympia I put on the side. God give me the family from what I created family from.
Well, see, you have a gentle heart, and God gives you much more than $100 million because money is not everything in this world. And we always go back to health, happiness, longevity, and helping dignity. And let's talk about how you and Mr. Friedman became together.
That's a good
and
idea.
as I said in my first interview of both of you, to form a marriage made in heaven, basically.
Yeah.
When Dick Clark passed away and went to heaven, you, I know, went through a lot of hardship, sorrowness, and sadness like anybody does. Then after you regain yourself, you search for someone, and of course, it was meant for you to meet Allan Friedman.
Yeah, it's a magic happened.
Magic.
First of all, you know, I have 5 years contract with CBS.
Right.
And 5 years option. You know, the second year, he got struck. He went to hospital.
Right.
Mr. Bill Cosby is such a honorable man, and other people say, Mr. Gellini, I host for you. I'm never going to host for you. I said, my partner is a hospital.
Right.
They, everybody go to hospital. I said, my culture are not allowed. Take 14 years, 5 stroke, and 2 heart attack. He's not after us.
Well, you are very, as I said, you are a kind person, and I know coming from Iran, I know your personality, your value, your commitment, which is a wonderful blessing. Let me ask, Allan, when Anthony approached you to actually create a marriage or partnership, how did it begin?
By mistake. Actually, Antonio thought he was meeting one of my associates, Roland Perkins, and Roland was the chairman and the president and the founder of Creative Artists Agency. And he thought he was coming over to meet Roland and met me by mistake. And it was love at first sight. And we are on the same channel of sensitivity. And it just happened by fate or God or whatever you want to call it.
That's wonderful.
It was meant to be.
Absolutely.
But, you know, it was a mistake.
Well,
I hope it doesn't prove to be a mistake.
Of
but,
course not.
it was a blessing and that's basically how it happened.
I have known Antonio for a few years, and he has talked nothing but the best about you. Every time he opens his mouth, Allan J. Friedman comes out.
It's mutual.
I mean that sincerely.
Mutual.
And then it's amazing, as we talked in the first show, we all have a lot of common grounds. I'm also a motivational public speaker, as well as a human relation consultant. And I've devoted almost most of my life inspiring people for a better place in life.
That's touched my heart. The first time I
sure.
listened to motivating the people, how she's speaking, I say, God, we are the same
He's
language.
a very eloquent gentleman.
Wonderful.
Well, I think we all, again, instead of paying each other compliment, we are really sincere. That's the key factor. And the purpose of this show today is to inspire the viewing audience so they also have something in their heart, a dream that sometimes do not feel positive. They don't feel that they have the ability. And hopefully watching you two gentlemen here, they're going to say, I can do it too. And that's what we need.
They can do it.
Absolutely. Dreams do come true.
They can.
I mean,
absolutely.
this is one body, these 2 bodies, this 3 bodies. It's one soul.
Sure,
If
absolutely.
we are one heart. If we are together, affecting one another.
Absolutely.
That's why the artists have full responsibility. But they affecting all of the world.
Right.
You know, this amazing.
We inspire the heart.
Absolutely.
And if you speak from your heart to someone else's heart, out of it comes true communication.
Absolutely. If you look back, Allan, from the beginning of time, whenever that time is,
Yes.
what we have that's common is us,
Yes.
people, human being.
Yes.
And it's the saying, don't judge the book by its cover. Open it up, read it, then make some constructive comments. The problem is today, too many people in this world do not open the book. They look at it on the outside, they look at the cover of the book, make judgment, which is wrong. And that's why most of the problem exists today.
Yes.
And I think this show, I'm almost positive, is going to inspire some people who were looking only at the cover. They're going to say, you know what? These gentlemen are right. Let me just open the book. Let me read even few page. Even few page can give people inspirational by saying, oh my God, this is a good book. It's a good story. And I'm glad I opened the book.
Open the word and open your heart.
Right.
Because, you know, if you have, today, really, I'm praying sad because what's going on around the world right now, in Middle East, in every place, you have to understand, as long as not touch the belief system, you have some belief. As long as your belief is nothing bother me,
Absolutely.
we don't have to touch that
Yeah.
belief and go in something.
See, I've been teaching in school for almost 20 years now, basically young kids. And I tell each one of them, be proud of who you are, be proud of your religion, your race, your culture, nationality, gender, sexual preference, whatever. But do not ever try to shove your belief to someone else.
That is the key.
But the belief, the true thing is what makes us different is what makes us alike.
Absolutely.
Because a
Alfred.
garden is a garden of multicolored flowers.
Flowers.
It's not one flower.
Right.
It's all the flowers of the world that makes a gorgeous garden.
And it would be-
so unless you respect each one of the
Absolutely.
flowers for what the flower is,
Yes.
But
and that's
al-
our motivation.
But
is to-
also, Alan, if you look at a garden of flowers of all different colors, textures, aroma,
Exactly.
they grow together,
in harmony.
harmony,
Yes.
and its
Harmony.
beauty is expanded to each human being. You don't walk up and say, oh, I like this flower, that flower. You
Yeah.
say, what a beautiful bouquet of flowers.
I like black better than red,
And
better
the
than
teamwork,
white. That's
teamwork.
team.
Well,
When you're happy yourself, so I'm happy. So what?
Well, we are all a
We have
bouquet of
sharing.
flowers. We are all bouquet
Yeah.
of
the
flowers.
garden is art,
Absolutely.
and that's why we are bringing the world
Sharing,
together through art.
sharing, loving.
Well, diversity should be celebrated.
Diversity.
That's the key.
Exactly.
and
and
being
it
a
would-
woman.
No, the feminine side
Well,
is
women
absolutely
have
true.
to be
Women-
Yeah, you have a great feminine side. You know?
Well, women and
Woman is a
men
mother.
women and men are really equal in the eyes of God, in the eyes
Yeah,
of
but
humanity.
we have the acting.
And anybody who puts the differences on them is wrong 100%. But basically, the essence of you two gentlemen working for peace and harmony, Olympia Art Institute was honored on June 20th of 2014.
Yes.
by the
After
United
29
Nations.
years.
After 29 years,
Yes.
which is a great honor. And you had 400 people come from all over the world to celebrate that day.
Yes.
And in a few minutes, we are going to be showing a clip of that. So in about 2 minutes or less, Alan, can you expand your feeling when you walked into United Nations for that ceremony?
Surprise.
Okay.
I thought I was just going to have a buffet dinner. And there's 400 dignitaries from all over the world. We had kings, and we had presidents and princesses and ambassadors. And I mean, I was actually rather shocked, to be honest with you. There's 400 of them in the banquet room of the
Amazing.
United Nations overlooking the East River.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what was your
And it
feeling?
was
of
beautiful.
My friend, absolutely.
it's
I would like
inspiring.
to thank the Princess Maria, who was with us, a humanitarian, and Navid Akhtar, who is from Europe, and Ali Reza. Especially thanks to Mr. Mehdi Zukayi,
Right.
Farhang Farlahi, you know, Television Powers and other Parzan Derzu. Those people who are, you know, just somehow to participate
Yes.
this celebration. You know, I have a, you know.
They were wonderful, yes.
Rebecca Holden
Everybody was
and
wonderful.
Joe Diamond and
My friend
Alton.
Karen Burke, who I brought from
Yeah,
New York, yes.
Yeah, those are the people. It's just amazing. I was fascinated, and again, thanks to Princess Maria.
Well, I was invited to come, but unfortunately I had to be out of the country on a business venture. I'm sorry I missed it, but I've seen the clips on YouTube, which was really marvelous. Ladies and gentlemen, in just about short 30 seconds, we are going to break away for you to see a clip of the ceremony that took place in the United Nations. And I'm sure you're going to be mesmerized because of all the people coming from all over the world to celebrate one day diversity, to celebrate human relations, to celebrate peace and harmony. And that's what it's all about. So we'll come back in a short few minutes. So please enjoy the clip from June 20th, 2014.
Honor to be a citizen of America. The place to make your dream come true. The place to make your dream be happy, laughing, and able to, I love to pass to other people. Don't let anything maybe kill me, but they cannot kill the dream.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it's my pleasure to have the opportunity to interview two giants in the Hollywood. And I'd like to basically expand a little bit further with Mr. Allan Friedman, because as much as we have talked about their humanitarian work, you need to know more about this gentleman. At the young age of 3, believe it or not, he started composing. He was already into music world. At the young age of, I believe, about 16 or 18, he did a composition that was accepted already. I'm going to have him expand on that. Then, while in college, the Kennedy family approached him. First, Jackie Kennedy asked him to do a documentary on ex-President John F. Kennedy about a young man's life, which was J.F. Kennedy in Boston. Then Bobby Kennedy approached him and asked him to do the film on 1,000 days of JFK life.
It was a series.
Series, absolutely, I remember that.
And I was 23 at the time.
23, well, God bless you. But we were talking, basically, Allan, why would, out of all the billions of people throughout the world, someone approach you? Because we talked about destiny, we talk about the God-given energy that we all have. It was already flowing somehow that the Kennedys approach you.
Synchronicity. They didn't approach me. I need to correct that.
Oh,
I approached Jackie.
Okay.
I was a kid. And I got to her through one of the heads of the Secret Service. And I was just a kid, and I think she liked me from the fact that I was, 22, 23 at the time. And I said, I want to do a film honoring the late president. And somehow or another, we kicked it off. She was wonderful and gave me access to all the Kennedy library. And Steve Mills and Elton Rule was the president of ABC, and Steve Mills was executive producer at ABC. And Steve became my executive producer. I was the producer, creator, and composer on it. And Jackie gave us access to all the Kennedy archives, and eventually gave me a lot of pictures that I still have to this day. That's how it began, and then it ended up, we brought in the Mormon Tabernacle Choir and Kingston Trio and Joseph Cotton and Stephen Longstreet, and put it all together and created the first entertainment documentary.
That's wonderful.
And ended up, the reviews were terrible, and I thought my career is over, and then the New York Times said it was a classic, and it ended up winning the MAUPI Catholic Association Award, and was the highest rated special at that time.
I remember those series because John F. K.
Well, then Bobby approved me from that to do the series. That's how that happened.
Right.
And
No, I was going to say JFK was really one of my favorite heroes.
Mine too.
Because he was a humanitarian.
Very
He was a
much.
wonderful human being for the time.
Yes.
For the time that we needed.
Yes.
But
He
unfortunately.
was a dreamer.
Dreamer.
Like us.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm carrying on the dream that he couldn't finish, we plan to finish.
Right.
To make the world a safe and noble place for kids.
Antonio, your dream, of course, has come a reality, but still the dream goes on. And what a marvelous relationship you two have together that you're expanding on. And tell me, what are your other visions through Olympia for the future?
First of all, let's again back to just to roughly for the Tom Hanks,
Sure.
Ron Howard,
Right.
Sandra Bullock,
Right.
Nevi Catman, Patrick Stewart, the highest people. Remember, Mr. Bob Hope, he's a word is Bob Hope. I never honor any place than family from where I'm going to be there. And he was there, Charlton Heston,
Right.
Don O'Connor. Those are icons. They established the foundation
Yeah.
of the family from
They were actually part of your Family Award Film Festival that you gave just like Academy Award.
Yeah, but they are the people that choose it.
Absolutely,
The movie was a
right,
competition.
right.
The first time ever, from the Microsoft, Mr. Bill Gates said, "I'm honored to be part of that."
Right.
It's Bill Gates,
Right.
because it doesn't matter who are you when you touch the family
Right.
and everybody. So what I did, I have a blue ribbon panel,
Right.
the highest icon actor, actress, and the critic, like Roger Moore or some other people who are writing the critic to LA Times, New York Times, Hollywood Reporter, Variety. Those blue ribbon, when they get a nominee, go to the public.
Right.
It was the public chose Tom Hanks,
Right.
Ron Howard, Sandra Bullock.
You might also say to the viewing audience, basically, they can go on your website and they
you.
can watch that clip.
To please a World Film
Yes, World Film
Institute.org.
Say that again.
worldfilminstitute.org, and also on the Facebook, Antonio Gellini. You can see a lot of different YouTube, Twitter, every place.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I really encourage you to go on that YouTube and also into Mr. Antonio Gellini's website. If you Google and watch what he just spoke about, you see all these wonderful, famous actors, actresses giving their time and talent because this man. Also, you notice he never tried to get any credit as to what he did. He always is behind the scene and he gives credit to others, just like the wonderful Mr. Allan J. Friedman. They never say, I did this, I will do that. They never say, I want to get accolades, because they do it for other people. And that's a sign of wonderful people.
Because people, they give it to me.
Absolutely.
People give it to me, I have to give it to people. And the most important, since you mentioned about the website, worldfilminstitute.org, or Facebook, Antonio Gellini, the only thing I need from your view, any response, any thought they have, I'm going to, with the heart, I'm going to accept it.
Excellent.
Whatever it can be, because the new one, upcoming Family Film Award, is going to come next year. We're going to have some, it's going to be new, completely something new, combination of the Emmy and Academy.
It's amazing when we have so much fun, time goes by. Allan, once again,
It's a joy.
been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And I mean it
Thank you,
sincerely. Antonio, always a pleasure seeing you. Thank you. We'll do it again.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. It's been truly a pleasure for me to have had these two gentlemen twice on the show on the same day. And hopefully you enjoy what you're watching. And please, learn something from the interview. Each one of you has a dream. Search within. All our answers are within you. And tell yourself, I can do it, and I promise you will. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for tuning in.